parkway in my automobile, trying to get back to my pappy's corn liquor steal. Soon as I crossed that Buncombe County line, something in the air blew my podcast up high. It was a whistle from the chicks in the city sticks, and I knew right then it was gonna be my fix. No need for white lightning to get my start. It's hey Lord, have mercy and bless your heart. Lordy, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not strange, take it from me. Lordy, come and listen to see weird mountain gals on the Wyrd. Up on Weird Mountain, Nathan can their kicks, jamming on the porch just a hit and mash. Stirring up the pot, that's what they do best. They can dish it out till there ain't none left. W-Y-R-D, yeah, you know what I mean. No, it's not strange, take it from me. W-Y-R-D, come and listen to see Weird Mountain Gals on the Wyrd. Well, I finally found my pappy's corn liquor steal. Filled up the jug and had to hit the trail. Gotta get back to the cottage in the Asheville woods, to the Weird Mountain Gals neighborhood. Why, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not strange, take it from me. W-Y-R-D, come and listen and see Weird Mountain Gals on the Wyrd. It's them Weird Mountain Gals on the Wyrd. It's them Weird Mountain Gals on the Wyrd.
Do you consider yourself normal? Then this is not the show for you. Please go somewhere else. This is WYRD. If it's getting weird, it's got to be the Weird Mountain Gals show. You're listening to Byron and Alicia, the Weird Mountain Gals.
I'm all right. You know, we talked last week about just how complicated life seems to be right now.
Yeah.
And it is. It just is.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
This is the time of year that my dreams just start exploding around me because
Oh, golly, me too.
better. And
Woo.
seems like it seems like once Samhain hits, things get a little wide open for a while as far as events. You know, this is the dying time, and this is the time when I have the big dreams, and this is the time when the bricks and mortar don't feel so solid sometimes.
Well, and right now the whole world doesn't feel very solid, does it?
No, it doesn't. We had a misty drive the other day, and I thought about you all day driving around and through the mist on the hills. And, you know, if I had felt comfortable taking a picture while I was driving, there were several places I would have just clicked so you could see it. It looked nice. It did. I mean, kind of gloomy, but beautiful.
Well, and you know how much I love that kind of weather.
Yep. What's not to love? But that's got to be, you have to have some northern ancestry, I would say. Do you know?
You mean like Northern European ancestry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I have any Northern, United States ancestry.
No, I meant like, Celts, Danes, etc.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just going to go with it. I got the hat ready for next time we get together. And
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so
I got me all kinds of Santa hats. Let me look and see which one would be good.
I literally love the Santa outfits and stuff when I see people wearing them.
Me too. They just make me happy.
Me too.
I got one here that's green mostly with a little red edge on it that I believe is supposed to be an elf hat. So I'm gonna turn my video back on.
Okay.
So you watching at home, listening at home, please bear with me because you're not gonna be able to see this until January when we are gonna start seeing that kind of stuff.
You've got your home is all blurred behind you.
Yeah.
I just picked a brand new background for mine. And it's a dementia haunted kind of abandoned home. And people have written all this stuff on the walls on it.
There.
Yeah.
It's big for me though, because I got a little bitty head.
That's a great hat. Yeah.
It is. I like it.
Yeah.
What I'd like to have is one of those hats that were really popular, I guess, in like the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's like a knit cap, but it's got a big fat band of fur down around the bottom. So it looks very Russian. I'd like to have one of those.
I think I have one of those. This one, if you're not looking at the back of it, it has that look to it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yes, sort of.
Yeah. Y'all, I can't wait till you can start seeing us because we're something else.
Yeah, y'all didn't know. She sits around in a bikini most of the time.
That's right. Sometimes it's a one piece, but mostly it's a bikini.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so I guess everybody's probably seen like your background of your house from the Facebook Live. But it's interesting to see if they had what they thought the cottage looked like. They've seen some pictures,
Yeah.
We can I need to go out and get some more pictures too. I miss that place all the time.
Well, you can come out while I'm out there cleaning and tidying up for our house guest that's coming next week sometime.
Well, I won't be able to keep up with you, but I can probably help you do a
You can keep me company.
Well, I can help you do a few things. So yeah.
I'm gonna clean out the refrigerator. There's stuff in there that's, it's ancient mustard and old condiments and all that stuff. I'll probably pull the refrigerator out on the back porch and let it thaw out,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that'd be fun. We'll make some Christmas memories, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we can Facebook Live from there.
Oh, great idea. Because we haven't done that in a while.
And I really like making a fool of myself in front of people, evidently.
What is so funny about it that always makes me laugh is us with our straw hats on, our cowboy hats and our sunglasses yeah. How are y'all doing?
We are cool that way all the time.
We are. We can't hardly help it.
Well,
golly. Well,
I wonder how Freddie Mercury is, or if Freddie Mercury is.
He was fine. And I think that when my friend Diatima was staying down there, he came to visit because she had her cats with her. So I'm sure he came out like, are there more cats in my territory? How dare they?
Well, she didn't let him out, I'm sure, except maybe.
No. In fact, I think they stayed in the bedroom the whole time.
He would have picked up on it instantly, though. I remember he followed me in. Do you remember that the first time I?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh.
He used to come in anytime I'd have the door propped open because I was bringing stuff in from the car. He'd come right in the house like, oh, nice. It's pretty nice in here. I smelled some mice. You got some mice here for me? That'd be good.
Yeah, that's why you like to have him around.
Uh-huh.
So
anyway.
I wonder if there's been a lot of bear action so far over there this year.
I haven't seen them in a couple of weeks, and I haven't seen any reports of them, so I don't know if they have finally gone to ground for the winter.
Maybe.
But yeah, I still keep my vigilance, so that when I drive into the driveway, I do that slowly and I look up in the oak tree. And when I go out in the backyard, mostly I am smart enough to check it out before I go just rambling back there.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Somebody saw a bobcat not too far from here. Bobcat, my friend, bobcat.
Don't doubt it. I've
No.
seen animals around here this year that I don't know that I've ever seen before. I saw something 2 or 3 days ago when I was out that I'm still not sure what it was. It was
Huh.
huge, though. It was a bird. It was on the side of a tree, and it was like hugging the tree, like a woodpecker
Oh.
does,
Uh-huh.
except it was huge and it was black. And I thought, well, maybe it was some sort of vulture, but if it's a huge vulture, but
Huh.
it was something I watched it move, so I know it exists, and it wasn't a baby bear, but it
Right.
would be that size, and that's huge for a bird.
Golly.
And I
That must
saw
be it must be some kind of buzzard.
it has to be. And then I saw that wolf last month, and I've never seen that
That's so
bird.
wild. That's so wild.
Mhm. And I've seen so many deer. I can't tell you how many deer I've seen, but they're gone now. We up until last week, I was seeing them all over the place around the roads and stuff. And it was like driving down an alley of death for a while there, because that space between the farmers market and where it comes out on Broyles in Mills River, that part of one
Yeah.
just had
Yep.
deer after deer after deer after deer dead along the side of the road.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad.
that's sad.
It's sad and bad, and more than I've ever seen at that time.
Mm.
And early too.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to have an early winter or a bad one.
Well, we talk about this every week, and I think me and you don't actually know, but
Nope.
golly, snow in November. It's not unheard of, but it's unusual.
Yeah.
We've had another very cold snap right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be wet and full of snow and ice and all that or not, but
A little bit of snow.
people better be ready. And I'm just going to get on my bitchy high horse one more time and tell people, if you can afford to do it, you should lay in supplies for the winter and not pretend like you are some very modern person and the weather is not going to affect you, because I live in a city, and you live in a city, you can get anything you need. Well, you may not be able to. So wouldn't it be smart just to have a little bit extra on hand if you can afford to? And most people can. Most people can. But they just feel like they're not going to be touched, Oh, no, it won't bother me. Oh, I hate cold weather. But it's not like I hate cold weather because what if I lose my power? I hate cold weather because what if I can get any food? What if my pipes freeze? All that stuff that you and I bitch about every winter.
Well, because it's a valid thing. I
Yep.
mean, it really is. And it's not us asking for trouble. It's just it makes common sense to get prepared.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed at all about it, even though occasionally somebody will say something a little smarty, about it. They'll smirk or say something a little offhand about it, but I don't care. I mean,
I don't either.
if
I don't give a
if
damn.
I was out there doing the prep thing and said, y'all have to go buy a $300 box of crackers and
Peanut butter and
peanut butter and what is that meat?
scrapple,
whatever that meat is. Yeah.
spam.
Spam or whatever.
Fill your shelves up with spam and cheap tuna fish.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. Just get you some oatmeal and some things that you could have on hand.
It's a thing we say all the time about just have a grain of damn common sense.
I know it.
No, I can't even go there this week. We went there last week.
No,
I can't even go there this week. This week has been too full of strange and hard and wonderful things. So no, I ain't doing it. But I'm gonna go right to this, because today I went to the grocery store. Not only did I go to the grocery store, I went to 3 grocery stores.
3 of them. Okay.
3 of them. So I have been buying up what I need for the holiday season coming up. We've been buying stuff to go into packages to get mailed away. And by golly, I got a house full of food and I'm very happy about it. But tonight, because I got a late start on everything, and thank you for being so patient with me, I'm going to make a pizza. I'm going to make a frozen pizza.
Oh,
The
good
end.
for you. Well,
And I'm doing that. I'm doing that because I got a big old candy roaster that
yeah.
I've got to process, and I'm going to do that. When we get off of here, I'm going to process a candy roaster.
Well, this is a good time to cook. It's a yucky day outside, and we've got some cold weather coming this weekend, and it's been cold. And I've got, right now, I did the thing I told you I was going to do. I have a roast that I had put in the crock pot, and I'm making a cream of mushroom and beef soup.
Oh,
And
yummy.
that can transition into lots of stuff down the road. I probably will turn it into, I forget what it's called. It's just, I don't know what you would call it, but you basically have a kind of a gravy, and you put it on top of egg noodles, and you
Stroganoff.
thank you
Stroganoff.
mix a little bit of cream or sour cream and a thimble of red wine with it, and
Yeah.
heat it up and put it on the egg noodles. Of course, now to me, that's real decadent. I don't do that so much, but I do like the meat, and you can take the meat and use it for sandwiches or soup or whatever. And I'll transition that into 2 or 3 different meals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like I baked a ham last weekend, and that 2 or 3, that was at least 3 meals. And for 3 of us, and so that was good. And then after that, I think I'm going to bake some chicken.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
But this weekend, when it's really cold, I'm going to make a white bean soup with the ham bone that I've got left over from the baked ham.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So we're going to have some white bean soup and, just normal winter kind of food.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got our big neighborhood shindig tomorrow night.
Oh,
Our annual meeting. And
it's not a party. Okay.
oh no, it is a party. It's a celebration of, a whole year doing what
Did
we
y'all
do.
get your project?
About all we do. What?
You remember that project that you were doing earlier, about a month ago? I guess Joe was helping with it. And it was something that y'all didn't know you needed to have it done so fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, someone stepped into leadership for that project.
Oh, good.
They didn't step up exactly, but they claimed responsibility, and I just let it go.
Yeah.
So we will talk about that tomorrow night, and we will get a few reports, and mostly we're just bringing some new board members on and eating a lot of food. So I'm going to bake a whole bunch of cookies tonight and bring those for tomorrow.
Have you heard about these things that people are doing with their Christmas cookies? They're baking a couple of batches of cookies and meeting up with these other women who are baking a couple of batches of cookies, and they're doing a cookie exchange.
Yeah, I got invited to one of those, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go. But yeah, I think it sounds like fun.
It does. It sounds like fun, but I'm not up for that right now. I have to avoid a lot of that. I love Christmas food, and I have a sweet tooth. And probably one of my favorite foods in the world is fruitcake, and especially homemade fruitcake. Oh my God. So
I drove past a Piggly Wiggly, probably Piggly Wiggly?
Yeah.
Or Winn-Dixie. Where's it you get the Jane Parker
Jane
fruitcake?
Parker, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly. I was coming up 23 from Atlanta, coming up through Dillard, all those places. And there's a Piggly Wiggly there. And I thought, I'll just stop and get her one of them damn cakes that she loves so much. But I was tired. I just wanted to get home,
Well, it's not actually me that likes the Jane Parker fruitcakes.
Who is it?
It's my mother-in-law.
Oh.
And so she gets, one of us will find her one every year.
Good. All right.
I'm simple. I just like those Claxton ones that they have at
Oh, they're really good.
yeah, and they've been around forever. And it's like
Yep.
I just don't let myself get it because I could eat a whole damn fruit cake in a day, just gnawing on it now and then, you know. And so I just, if I can go somewhere and have one piece of fruit cake, and then I will, and then go home and I won't take it with me, you see. But that's just the way I have to do it with me because I know how I am about that. So better off. And it's so easy to just make Christmas candy and cookies. And I love it.
And we all have family recipes for all that.
Yeah. So
yeah, I picked up one of those Stolens.
Yes.
And took it down to Atlanta to my sister-in-law's, and they're not, what am I going to say? They are not experimental eaters. They know what they like and they don't try anything else.
Okay.
So it was down there the whole time we were down there, and nobody opened it. Nobody had any of it. So when it was time to come home, she said, just take this with you because we're not going to eat this. So we did. And we had little slices of Stolen last night. So good. Dried cherries in it and nuts, and it was really fresh and tender. Oh, so good.
It sounds like it. Let me ask you, my brother used to like these. They were little cakes, and I want to say that he would see them in the Hickory Farms catalog. Okay. And they were square like a brick. And they had multiple layers, lots and lots and lots of layers, tiny, thin little layers, horizontal.
Yeah.
Remember what those were called?
Oh, man. And I just threw out a catalog from, I think it was Swiss Colony, Dobosch Tort.
Ah, that's it.
Yep. Dobosch Tort. And don't ask me how I remembered that, but I probably have seen it fairly recently. I've always wanted to try one of those. Did your brother ever try one? Does he like them?
Yeah, he loves them. And so I went to Hickory Farms looking for them, and they no longer have them. In favor of cakes in a jar, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
That's it. Dobosch Torps.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they don't have them at Hickory Farm anymore.
No. Says in 1959, our Austrian master pastry chefs developed their version of the classic European Dobosch tort. I used to call them Dubosh, a rich symphony of flavor with many layers of moist cake, rich buttercream, and our own specially blended chocolates. So they do them in 15 layers. They have a mint chocolate and a triple chocolate and an original chocolate.
Oh, all of that sounds delicious.
It does. It really does. And I'm so glad to remember because I don't have a clue as to what he needs for Christmas, what to get him for Christmas. Because he's just like the rest of us. He's got more than he wants of everything. We're all very lucky in that way. If you get old enough to be in, our ages, you probably, chances are, don't need a lot more stuff. You don't need cushions or whatever, or another pan or another tie or something like that. Somebody suggested, well, get him a tie. Doesn't he wear those for work? And it's like, I am not getting him a tie at his age. No, just no. But I'm not
good for you. Good for you. It's hard though. I mean, even with Joe, it's like anytime he wants something, he just goes to get it.
Right. That's the way a lot of them. So I get like things you might read. That's popular on my list. Things you might read. And I will get, like Kyle will this week, or for Christmas, I'll get him a gift certificate to the meat market out here, local. You see? Because
there's a meat market out there?
Boy, is there, yeah.
Where is it?
It's on 7th Avenue. Well, no, wait, I'll take it back. It's moved as of this week. It's been on 7th Avenue since it opened. But they are moving to 25. So it'll be right there, kind of really close to that Ingalls on the north side of Hendersonville. On the
It's so hard for me now
what?
because Hendersonville, I used to gauge everything by the windmill in Hendersonville.
Oh yeah.
And that hadn't been around in years, decades.
That one went away in 92, I think. And I forget the name of it. That was a huge deal to us in the because it was a hotel. And it was
Right.
also, it had a Chinese restaurant with a buffet. And that was a big deal.
Well,
And,
I miss it. I miss it a lot.
and it was called the Dutch Inn.
Yes. I don't know how y'all let that get torn down. What
Well,
were you thinking of?
I would have kept it if it had been up to me. And I didn't even know that it was getting ready to go. I just, one day I found out that they had knocked it down. It's like, what? Anyway, so it was an interesting place. And then it became a Revco, and then it became an Eckerd's, and then it became a CVS. And now it is someplace that you can go and give plasma, I guess.
Oh, golly.
I don't know. It's a EKG.
Lo, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, definitely. And
Well, so a meat market. So it's like a really fancy butcher shop.
yes, it ain't, I don't know if it's fancy or not. It never has been before. It's just competent. It's a really good place to go get meat. Like, especially if you're looking for a specific cut or something.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds
And
like worth the trip down there.
oh yeah. Well, let me see if they're changing the name of it. Because it used to be M&M Meat Market, and now they're going to call it the Meat Market. M&M, the Meat Market. So yeah.
Nice.
So I'm going to anyway. So that's what he's getting for Christmas, my little nephew, because evidently he is very good about not eating at fast food places, even though he's living by himself. He comes home and he cooks himself supper. And he plans his meals out, and he shops. He shops once every week or two, and he's got, that's the way he does it. And I think that's pretty cool.
That's amazing considering his age.
Yeah, it is.
Very practical.
Yep, I'm proud of him about that. So that's good, because so many of my guy friends are competent in the kitchen.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, it is. I wish that was the way it was, so that it was like something to be commented on. Okay,
yeah.
So here is the Swiss Colony page. I'm looking at it right now, and it looks as good as it ever did. They've got all kinds of stuff, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yummy.
They make it look like it's the best stuff in the universe, and then when it comes in, that ham, you're expecting to see a big old ham, and it's like 3 inches tall and a tiny little
And they make even the simple, like the Christmas hard candy. They just make it look delicious. Like I can't wait to have that on my coffee table in a little jar so that I can have a piece while I'm watching television. But then you get it and it's like, oh, it's that same crap that you can get at the Walgreens. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's exactly the same. That's up now. They've now started adding these, what is it? Seafood Incredible Spreadable things. I'm assuming these are seafood dips. Yeah, flavors and cream cheese, delicate seasonings, crab delight, lobster delight, and shrimp scampi delight. I don't know what you would dip them in.
Well, would you just use some nice crackers, or maybe some nice bugles so you could scoop up a bunch of it inside the bugle?
Or you could just use shrimp and crab and stuff so that you could actually get some real meat.
Oh, you're so bitter.
I'm
Bitter,
sorry.
bitter.
I'm just reading the ingredients. What can I say?
So do they have what you want for your brother?
Well, they have these. So what he might end up with is maybe a gift card to this place and let him
Yeah,
order what he
yeah.
wants. And now last year I got
Then
him,
he
I went to the local place here, the European place. Have you ever been there? Do you know
I
where
never have.
it's? Oh, I love that place so much. It's got
Where
so
is
good.
that one down near you? Or
Yeah. Well, do you
yeah.
know where Jersey Mike's is? There's like a Aldi's, and then behind Aldi's is a little shopping center, and it's got a Jersey Mike's and a couple of
Yes, and a Chinese restaurant and that European market. Yes,
yes,
because I see it all the time, but I've never been in.
oh, it's so good. They've got all the good stuff, all the cheeses and all the meats and all the specialty kind of vegetables and canned things.
Mm.
I really like spending my money there too because I just do. So,
Well, I'm gonna check it out. I am. I go to Aldi like every couple weeks. I was there today.
is that the one you go to?
The one out on Patton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
that's
Now,
the closest one to me.
isn't there one at the where the old Sky City used to be? Is that an Aldi? That's a
No,
Savmore.
that's a Sabmore.
That's. Do you go to that one too?
I do. Yep.
Gotcha. Well, I've never been into the Savmore, and Aldi is confusing, but it's interesting place.
Well, you get
Confusing.
used to it if you go there often enough. You realize how it's laid out, and it's pretty easy to find stuff.
Do you know what they have there at Aldi's? And they only have it once a year, and they have these uh really good quality cast iron enamel pots. Have you seen them?
Yes, and they're pretty affordable too.
That's the thing. Let's see, I'm looking right here. I can't remember the name of the Le Creuset is the one that everybody wants, right? But
Right.
because it's got blah blah blah. Well, Le Creuset some of these pots, especially the ones that I like, they start at $250, $300. And I'm sorry, but no. Even if I
Right.
could afford that, no, just no. Not when there's so many things out there that are that quality and maybe might, heaven forbid, used or something. That I would be more comfortable with. But Aldi has got brand new cast iron enamel, or they used to, and it big giant roasting pans and fryers and baking pans and casserole dishes and stuff. And I want to say they were $39 or $49.
Yeah, something like that.
It was
Did you get one, or you just admired them?
I've asked for one, and I get one every year for Christmas. So if I ask, yeah. So I've got 3 or 4 of them, and that's what I bake in, and it makes this cornbread because it is cast iron, which is what you want for your cornbread, because by the time it heats up, it's time to turn it off.
Yeah.
And it continues to stay warm, and it makes that really good kind of crusty cornbread and stuff. It's just really good to cook with once you get used to it. And it's got that enamel surface, so things don't stick to it like they do plain old cast iron.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is the food episode.
It is. It is a food episode. Today I had my list of what I needed, and I needed more plain flour, more sugar. And you could see Joe looking at me like, I'm pretty sure we got sugar. It's like, you don't understand what I'm about to do. And I got another dozen eggs, and I got, all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's about to go down over here. Hands are about to be thrown over here.
Hands are thrown.
I'm going to be throwing hands over here.
That's some serious time. Well, I figured today we were going to talk about what we had talked about, which was virtue signaling versus vice signaling.
Y'all, before we started recording this, we had a big old talk about a whole lot of things that are going on with both of us. But I said something about virtue signaling. And Alicia went, what? And then we decided we're going to be doing some vice signaling. We're going to be signaling to all you what our vices are. It's going to be good. Y'all going to love it.
It'll be
It's going
fun.
to be our tip of the hat to the Yuletide season with some vice signaling.
Vice signaling. We prefer it to the virtue signaling because there's no guilt involved.
No, ma'am.
There's no covert manipulation involved.
No, ma'am.
Just two girls and they're signaling about their vices.
Well, and I think it's important for us to let both young people know and older people know that we still got our vices and we still practice them so that we're really, really good at them.
Mm-hmm.
And we may have set aside some of those vices. Like, for instance, me driving super fast, dangerous. I don't do that anymore. I let that particular vice go. So I won't be signaling about that.
No.
But, there are other vices that I've managed to maintain over the long length and breadth of my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's Gillian Welch wrote a song and she kind of did a little bit of that. And Tennessee, I think is what it's called. There's beefsteak when I'm working, whiskey when I'm dry.
Yes.
What a song that was. Yeah.
And that reminds me, I should be drinking some whiskey right now. I go back sometimes and I listen to our really early podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was drinking whiskey and you were doing something and we were just like a pair of wild things. But I tell you, COVID just kicked our butts, didn't it?
Now it's like, how's your arthritis, dear?
I know. Instead of saying, well, what kind of whiskey are you drinking today? It's like, well, did you ever get that big old cyst on your knee taken care of?
Yeah.
Damn it.
COVID.
So we need to maintain a few more of those vices to signal about as we get older, so people know you should still have vices.
Oh yeah, you can. Sometimes that's a little bit of it is self-care, isn't it?
Golly, yes.
Sometimes it's good to remember your roots. If you
Yes, ma'am, it is.
don't want to get above your raisin,
Might even get a bad case of the big head. That's what my family worried about that so much. And, they're all dead now, pretty much, the ones that worried. And I just wonder, what would they think now?
Yeah.
Do I have the big head or do I not? I don't know.
You just
Fools' names and fools' faces are always found in some public places. So that applies to me for sure.
Well, I don't know. And for all, does it actually matter though? I mean, it does in a way, as far as I'm concerned. If you know that you're going to be an ancestor and all, you can use what you've done is a body of work that's digital, you see? And so it's a way of documenting your life, you as a public person.
Well, it's a way of documenting what I want people to know about my life as a public person.
Public life, yes.
Yeah, but that, they don't know nothing about me, really.
Right, but by the time you're gone, do you think your private life will come out on the public side? I
think with any luck, people will be bored to death of me before I have to make that decision.
Yeah.
And then I will. Like right now, I post something and hundreds of people respond, but there's going to come a point where I post something and it's going to be you and 3 other good friends. And we're going to laugh about, remember the old days when we could go viral just for blowing our noses? Remember that? Golly, what a time. What a time. But we'll be done. We'll be done with it. And it'll be done with us. More importantly, it'll be done with us.
Yeah, exactly. So but I think about that stuff, I kind of think that it's a good thing that I don't have children in a way, but I know I've been called out by at least one of my nephews have said, you might say things that are a little too personal on that podcast sometimes. And I said, well, that tells me you're listening. So
Wow.
I'll
Yeah.
take that as a win. And you know, he's actually right. I'm a private person, believe it or not, to have told so much over the years. And now I say over the years, and it's like, you know how long it's been on this podcast? We're on somewhere around episode 225 or something.
Oh my gosh. That's hard to believe, isn't it? Y'all are so good and patient with us to put up with our, well, what do you want to talk about? Death or food or ancestors? What do you want to talk about? Politics?
It's gonna, yeah, we generally have our subjects that we stick to, that's for sure. Music and food and politics and people who move here without thinking about the consequences. And traffic. So we do a little bit of venting and we do a little bit of laughing.
We do.
I'm honored that people would consider listening to it. Truth, that's the truth.
Well, I belong to this page, and you may be on it too. You know, you're from Asheville,
yeah,
and it has a lot of photos and stuff. And there was one, it was just reminding me of the 70s on Merriman Avenue. That was such a rich music scene. And here's a picture from, I don't know, 1976 or something, of Warren Haynes. And it was like, and I mean, he was always a big boy, but he was so beautiful. That beautiful long hair. And I think he was holding a beer in his hand or something. But
yeah. Where was he at? Vincent's Ear or?
No, somewhere on one of the Merriman joints. I can't remember which one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Doc's Rock Shop or some of those places.
Doc's was on Haywood Road. Now, wasn't there a place called Yesterday's on Merriman that everybody went to, or was that on Tunnel Road?
I don't remember that one.
Yesterday's?
Yeah. I remember an antique store called Yesterday's, but I don't remember like a music venue, for lack of a better word.
Let's see. All right, here's Merriman Avenue, Asheville's Cradle of Music.
There it is. Is that the one that's got a picture of Warren?
Yeah, that's the one you were telling me about. For over 2 decades, there were 3 clubs on Merriman Avenue within a mile of each other that fed and nourished the local music scene. Some of the familiar names are Loafer's Glory, Ricochet, Malcolm Holcomb, and Racist.
Man, what a musician. Oh my goodness.
Please add the names of additional musicians. And so it had this picture here of, this looks like, this is Ray right here.
Mm-hmm.
And Cosmic Ballroom, Brass Tap, and somebody said Doc's Rock Shop again. So maybe it moved to Haywood Road eventually. Matt Kells was on.
Yeah, it might have, and then Matt Kells out on Tunnel Road.
That's interesting.
Yeah, gosh, the Cosmic Ballroom. I've been to all those places.
Oh yeah.
I know he doesn't listen to this show, so I don't have to worry about it. But early in the days when Malcolm Holcomb was your standard humming strummer,
yeah,
we referred to him as Mumbo Jones because he was always more interested in the picking and the instrumental part of it than the singing part. And so you often couldn't understand him because he'd have his head ducked down over his guitar playing. And so we called him Mumbo Jones.
Mumbo Jones.
What an amazing musician. Let me be real clear. If anybody's a friend of Malcolm's, and he went through some really hard times health-wise, but what a stellar musician he was and is.
He still is. You can still catch him. He shows, and he often comes through Hendersonville. And Malcolm came every year. Every year, Malcolm showed up at the Flat Rock Music Festival.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Here's that picture you were talking about. It says these are a few of the standouts from the local music scene before it left the rough and tumble of the Merriman Avenue clubs in North Asheville: Caesar's Parlor, Brass Tap, Cosmic Ballroom, Doc's Rock Shop, and migrated downtown in the 1990s. So we got Don Humphreys, Woody Mitchell, wow, Keith Flynn. I hadn't thought of him in years. Warren Haynes,
Our Facebook friend.
Daniel King. I'm glad he's still around. Ron Burgeon. That is a great photo.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it is. I'm glad you told me about that. I wouldn't have known to go look. And I see it's got Louise Bailey has put another article in from Hendersonville. So we have our historians, and they've been vigilant, haven't they?
They have, and that's just talking about downtown in Merriman, but there was life on Tunnel Road. There was the Gray Eagle when it was out in Black Mountain. Yeah, there was tons of music everywhere then.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
I loved it. I thought that was just the way it was. I didn't realize that it was a special thing. Although I knew instantly that it was special to me. I knew it was special. But I also thought that everybody could find that and have it. So when I grew up, I remember I would say the 80s made the biggest impression on me musically, because the 70s I was still listening to radio music, stuff that you could get on Big Wise or whatever you were listening to. But in the 80s, I started listening to the local music a little more. And see, I always just assumed that the mountain music, it was just mountain music and it was always around, and I always listened to it.
Uh-huh.
I just assumed it was just part of life. But the music that I heard coming out of Vincent's, and there was one that had it was on College Street there, and just several different places in Nashville. It was some of the best stuff.
Oh yeah, Be Here Now.
Oh, Be Here Now. That was the name of it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, such good stuff.
Chris Rosser. I remember seeing Chris Rosser for years playing in Nashville, and you can still catch him every now and then. And of course, Jimmy Landry showed up at some point as well. And
yeah.
those were the days of the big music. Everybody was just making music because they wanted to, and they were all trying to figure out what to do with their life as musicians. And they come to Asheville just because they heard that the music was great here. And it was great here. And
yeah.
I am sad that we've lost our music scene. Aren't you?
Well, have we lost it though? I mean, there seems to be a lot. Yeah, there seems to be some still around. Every brewery has music there, but I just don't think it's anything that's very healthy for musicians, because they ask you to come in and play for tips. And if you're brand new starting out, yeah, that's good. It's a really good experience, and it's a good way to learn how to judge an audience. But if you're an established musician, you don't want to come and play for tips at some dive bar in Asheville.
Part of the appeal of Asheville music was the chemistry, the mix of chemistry that you would get by, you're going to come over here and play with these guys for the first time, and they're going to come over here and help you with your song for the first time. And this is how people meet each other. And they were doing so much of that right there out on the street in the busking areas. And the buskers, the heyday of the buskers came and went pretty fast once travel and tourism got into them, that they started regulating all of it. And it's really hard to regulate a musician. Have you noticed? They don't like that stuff.
No, they don't. And
they
it harkens back to all that old Asheville stuff that people say, oh, but Asheville was just dead in the 80s. It was dead in the 70s. Well, it wasn't. If you knew where to go, it was never dead.
It was only dead if you were looking for a certain type of entertainment. If you wanted, because we did have theater in Asheville. We had a Shakespeare theater. You could tell me all about that. Yeah, about all the theater around here at one time. And we still have some stuff. It's just
We
not
do,
great.
but back then it was all pretty much homegrown,
Yeah,
and it just isn't anymore.
it's not. It's and so that's sad. But it also we had it good, and eventually we will have it good again. Because that's just the mountains, the area. You can't live here and not get some music on you occasionally.
Yeah,
At
get
least,
get whacked with some music.
yeah. The saying used to be you can't swing a guitar without hitting a massage therapist. Oh no, it was backwards. You can't swing a massage therapist without hitting a guitarist. That's the way they would say it around here.
Yes. Well, and there's the guitar bar. Have you been down there?
I have, and that's a nice place. It's well, I mean, it's grungy as it should be, as
Yeah,
it
I like some
to have
grunge.
any kind of street cred. So, but it's also a real good. There's a big variety of folks that show up there. We have great musicians in this area. They've just
We
now
do.
gone into their home studios, I guess, and who could blame them?
Well, and then there was that wonderful ISIS that they completely renovated the little pizza place and turned it into ISIS. And then I guess the owners just got tired of it and went, well, we're not going to do that anymore.
They had it for quite a while. And what was it a movie theater before that? Or an
Yes,
ice
it
cream
was.
place?
Years ago, it was a movie theater.
And then was it also an ice cream place or drugstore?
Might have been. It was a pizza place for a while called Possibilities.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Gosh, I hadn't thought of that in a long time. Interesting. So, wow. Well, you made me kind of wish that I could go back a little bit. Go back. We had it made and didn't know it.
No kidding.
Oh,
All that great music. Holy moly.
yeah, yeah. Well, we still have all that great music. It's just hiding now. It's out there on Spotify somewhere.
It's at where do you go? Bandcamp, where you go to buy music.
Yeah. Hey, there are some good music stores in Asheville still. I mean, there's that.
Oh, Harvest is great. I love to go to Harvest.
Yeah, so we're still pretty lucky, aren't we? And so now we talked about music, we talked about food. We talked about death a little bit, or was that before the show?
I don't know. Y'all, once again, I mean, last week I was saying, oh, and a friend of mine just died. And here we are a week later, and I'm saying, well, a friend of mine just died. It is just the season for that, I think. Like we talked about last week. It's just tis the season, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So I'm hearing that song in the background.
Wow. Dun, dun, dun. Now that's what we haven't done in a while is sing.
I know.
I woke up early this morning. I mean, after sleeping so late yesterday, I woke up early this morning and I just had to sing the sun up because we used to always do that. My daughter and I did that for the winter solstice. We get up that morning and sing the sun up in the morning. I thought, well, I'm just going to get a head start and sing it up today. That was good.
Yeah.
I forget how much I like just singing.
Yep,
Singing, sing, all that stuff. Yep.
I do that all the time. It's guaranteed to after a while, it'll put me in a good mood. There's just no way around it. If I have the physical wherewithal to do that, well, that's what happens every time I get in a better mood because I start thinking about, I need to do this with my voice, and I need to change that, and I need to, I like to micromanage my own voice, and it'll just kind of smooth out my crappy attitude after a while.
Yeah, and I'll sing songs that I know that are real songs, and then I'll just sing nonsense.
Yeah.
I'll just
Sorry.
I just wander around singing nothing that anybody recognizes. I don't know. I'm looking on the internet, and I see that it looks like you can get the Swiss Colony original chocolate Dobosh tort at the Walmart.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I
At
see.
the Walmart. Oh, okay. Thank you
You
for
know,
telling me that.
there used to be the shops, and then there was like a kiosk, and then I don't even know where that stuff is anymore.
Well, there was a shop that was Hickory Farms.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. And now, but I've never known Swiss cotton. But you are so right. Look at this. My goodness. Cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, I tell you what, I might just, if they really do have them, I might get me one. Just try it.
Yeah. My brother
Because
loves them.
I am the person, when the birthday cake comes out and people go, well, don't give me a big rose or anything. I don't really like all the frosting. I'm like, give me the frosting. So the idea of a 7-layer cake with frosting in between, oh, that just sounds like heaven.
Doesn't it? All right. Now here we go. I'm seeing the Swiss Colony original chocolate Dobosh tort is $28.99 on Walmart. But if you go to SwissColony.com, let's see, it would be 21.
Ah, there you go.
That's why you can get it from Walmart. So either or.
And here's the thing, you can't get it at Walmart. That's what I'm looking at. They will order it for you, but you can't just go to Walmart and pick it up.
And if you get it at Swiss Colony, there's a promo code that if you use it at checkout, you get 16 assorted chocolates free with your order. So that's what I would do.
All right, darling. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Hey, thank you for spending your time with us here at Wyrd Mountain Gals. We sure do appreciate it. I know time is the most important thing we have. So I promise that if you take your time to listen to us, we'll take our time to continue to be weird. Many thanks to Sunslice Records for all the help. We couldn't do it without you, Craig. Check out our social media for information, community, or a few laughs. WYRD Mountain Gals.
WYRD Radio.
By the way, it is called Plenty of Fish, not Kettle of
Plenty of fish, okay.
But
Not too damn many fish.
But I kind of like Kettle of Fish. That's a fine kettle of fish you got yourself in. How many boys are you dating right now anyway? Well, I don't know. I was on Mashable. I'm sorry. I'm on it now. So it's like I just saw Elite Singles, and they already want me to go ahead and register with them. Okay.
I have
That's
enough
what we ought to do.
spam.
We ought to register for dating sites just for like a week and see what happens.
Oh my god! But make it a realistic profile. One that says like, I just don't give a shit. Or another one that's like, hey, I'm up there in my 50s. I just don't have a sex drive anymore.
I'll do 64-year-old woman, bad teeth, great skin.
Questionable personality.
Very questionable. She is not in good taste.
Possible man hater. You don't really want to call, do you?
Oh, you don't want to call this woman. And there'd be people who'd be like, oh no, I know her.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The first honest dating site.